guys, I'm Lee. Welcome everyone! In this video, I'm driving through the southwestern section of Alabama. Let's take a look at a map of where I'll be going. Part of the video takes place in the city of Monroeville, where the county courthouse is the inspiration for the movie adaptation of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird. Then I'll head toward the Alabama coast in search of more great roadside attractions, starting in Spanish Fort, which is just east of Mobile, then head to Elberta, where we end up at a marina that leads to the Gulf of Mexico. Gonna be a fantastic day. Let's go. Welcome to Monroeville. This city is known as the literary capital of Alabama. Two prominent novelists who were childhood friends grew up here: Truman Capote, who wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird is probably a novel every high school student had to read in their American literature class. And I'm thinking those students probably watched the movie adaptation, which starred Gregory Peck. Check out this mural in the center of town, which shows a scene from that novel. Monroeville was incorporated in 1899 and currently has a population of about 5,900. Today we're here to tour the old Monroe County Courthouse. It was built around 1904 and resembles many county courthouses I've seen in the state of Georgia. When a movie production of To Kill a Mockingbird was planned, author Harper Lee went back to her childhood roots and chose this courthouse for the dramatic courtroom scenes. The courthouse is now popular with literary tourists. The courthouse is now a museum. They offer tours 6 days a week. And they say this is the home of the world's most famous courtroom. This courthouse is on the Alabama Literary Sculpture Trail, which includes the sculpture of Truman Capote's hat and thick-rimmed glasses. There are many references to Kill a Mockingbird in the downtown area, especially by this courthouse. This marker mentions in 1997 the Alabama legislature designated Monroeville as the literary capital of Alabama. Beyond this marker, there is a sculpture that depicts 3 children from the Great Depression reading To Kill a Mockingbird to inspire children to become lifelong readers. And here's the sculpture. This was unveiled in 2014 and invites children of all ages to sit down and read with them. Sure enough, the little girl is holding the book To Kill a Mockingbird and appears to enjoy the novel. But take a look at this. There's one of those painted rocks placed here. That's kind of weird. Who would put a rock in her lap? The sculpture is located in the lawn surrounding the old courthouse. The courthouse will be open in just a few minutes. I'm going to walk around the courthouse square and look at a few things before taking a self-guided tour inside. At the rear of the courthouse is the Otha Biggs Amphitheater, dedicated about 10 years ago. Looks like a concrete sitting area beyond the grassy area. There's a gavel, part of the literary sculpture trail. I'm walking over to the bleachers to get a perspective from there. After post-research, I learned that the town performs plays of To Kill a Mockingbird, and those 3 little houses are used in the play to depict life in Macomb, which is based on Monroeville. Now I'm inside the courthouse, and here is a mock-up of what the Monroeville town square might have looked like in the early 1900s. Now I wish I had more time here. I could have learned about Truman Capote as well. Discovering Maycomb. This display mentions how visitors come to Monroeville to see the old courthouse. Also on this display is Gregory Peck visiting Monroeville, and then the famous courtroom scene. Some artifacts used in this very courthouse by probate judge E.T. Short Millsap, including the custom chair, which they ask not to touch. Also take a look at this typewriter. When's the last time anyone used a typewriter? Also an old rotary phone and what was called an adding machine. Looks like some photos of Gregory Peck and maybe some newspaper and magazine articles and some other colorful items. Now I'm about to go into the courthouse. This marker mentions this is a National Historic Landmark. Anyone who's seen the movie To Kill a Mockingbird can see how the movie set recreated this courthouse interior. Look at the ceiling with the aluminum or tin tiles. The Holy Bible, a judge's gavel, the judge's chair, which I cannot sit in. The juror seating, also not a good idea to sit in. The prosecution and defense tables both have water glasses and decanters, as well as some books. There are 2 wood-burning stoves in there to generate heat when needed. Try to get every perspective I can, just to document everything about this courtroom. The sign on the door reads this room was used as the model for the famous trial scene in the film To Kill a Mockingbird, and Harper Lee helped design the set. This is such a beautiful edifice, especially the interior. Alright, let's check out the balcony section upstairs. Best see in the house from the balcony section. Actually, this is better. A clear view of the judge, jurors, and whoever would be testifying. Plus both defendant and prosecutor tables. This little room has some information on Harper Lee. Over the windows are some quotes from an interview she gave on Oprah Winfrey. She says she prefers to work with books rather than laptops, cell phones, and iPods. She feels she remembers more that way. Her mother read her a story every day, and her father read her the newspaper. That interview was from July 2006. Harper Lee enjoyed working on the set of the movie, and she was grateful for the kindness and respect the crew had for her novel. From a 1962 interview, she says the novel is about a man's conscience. What makes human beings act as they do. The crew did such a good job with the set. Harper Lee said, "So the town is so good." She thought people may think the film was made on location. Some pictures of Harper Lee showing Gregory Peck around Monroeville. The Alabama premiere of the movie was held in Mobile. Like many places, I'll be exiting through the gift shop, or the bird's nest as it is called in the museum. Lots of knickknacks and Monroeville items here. Lots of locally made pecan pies, pecan logs, some honey made in the area, also some cookbooks. At filming, it was Christmas time, so they put up this lovely tree. I really enjoyed my visit to the courthouse. Harper Lee was not only born in Monroeville, but she's also laid to rest here. I met Hillcrest Penville and Baptist Cemetery. The building with the steeple is First Baptist Church, which should serve as a reference point to where Harper Lee's gravesite is. Here is where she's laid to rest. Harper Lee passed away in her sleep on February 19, 2016. Apparently she had a pen pal who thanked her for her iconic novel, TKAM, To Kill a Mockingbird. May you forever rest in peace, your friend from Missouri and someone from Orange Beach, Alabama. Upon post-research, I learned that Harper Lee had a number of pen pals. Another interesting pen pal she had was Berkeley Breed, the creator of the cartoon Opus the Penguin. There's an entrance to the cemetery. You can see where I am. Panning over, the Baptist church is in the distance, and a large headstone with Lee is directly in front of Harper Lee's grave marker. Hopefully this will make it easy to find it if you wish to come here and pay your respects. Now heading south on Interstate 65. It's about 90 minutes from Monroeville to my next destination, which is the city of Spanish Fort. Spanish Fort is an eastern suburb of Mobile. There are a few super large items to see in Spanish Fort. The first large item is this giant blue paperclip. It looks like it's holding a piece of paper showing the seal of the city of Spanish Fort. The sculpture is meant to indicate that the city is open for business. This giant paperclip is 14 feet tall and was constructed at the request of dentist Barry Booth. Booth is apparently a fan of weird and unique roadside attractions. Booth has a few more roadside attractions nearby, close to his dentist office, which is just down here. Let's take a look at those. The dentist office is directly in front of me. There's a large item to the right of the building. The sculpture makes more sense coming from a dentist. Here's a dental pick and mirror. The pick is 16 feet long and 8 feet wide. The pick is called Pick Nimra. I have no idea how Dentist Booth came up with that name. The sculpture honors the faculty and staff of the University of Alabama School of Dentistry. Barry Booth attended that school. That pig looks really scary. It's so big. There's one more sculpture on the other side of the Dinosaurs. Goodbye, scary, humongous Dinosaur. Here's a giant yellow ribbon sculpture. Dennis Barry Booth is an advocate for veterans, so I'm guessing the yellow ribbon is meant to be a symbol of support for our armed forces. He has installed a statue called the Recruit at the USS Alabama Battlefield Park. Notice the yellow is painted over a pink color. The sculpture was originally constructed for breast cancer awareness. All these sculptures plus the Recruit sculpture were all sculpted by Casey Downing Jr. I think that's what the signature reads. Now I'm gonna brush and floss my teeth and then go on to my next stop. Now heading east on Interstate 10 and taking this exit. Take a look at the name of the road on the big green sign, Bucky's Boulevard. Perfect timing as I'm a little hungry and would like a brisket sandwich. This is the very first Bucky's open outside of the state of Texas. I got some sandwiches and drinks, and now I'm ready to head south toward the coast. I'm now in the city of Elberta at Barber Marina. This is a very large marina owned by George Barber, one of the wealthiest people in Alabama. There are a number of roadside attractions in this 800-plus acre property, so let's check them out. A few of them are very far off the road, so I'm walking on this field to go to the first attraction, way down there. And here they are, a series of what looks like Roman columns and some other statues. I'm not sure what the significance is for having 8 columns and another statue in the middle of this field next to a small lake, but here they are. The road is way down there, so you can tell how far the walk is to reach these columns. These aren't artifacts from an old building. The owner intentionally put these 8 columns and the statue up. I think this is a Roman goddess, but does anyone know which one? Is this a replica of something else from Rome? If you do know, please leave me a comment. Alright. I need to take a long walk back to the car and head to the next roadside attraction in this marina. The next one is down this sandy path, and there are sand gnats around here. Lots of itchy gnats. So I need to get to the other end of this trail as quickly as possible before my legs are all bitten up. Check this out. It looks like the original Stonehenge from England. The stones are the same dimensions and positions as the original, except in this case, the stones are made of fiberglass. Welcome to Bamahenge. This marker says this was a partial replica of Stonehenge. Stonehenge has about 50 discovered stones, and Bamahenge does not have as many, but it is the same astrological alignment. Stonehenge took about 1,000 years to construct, with no definitive proof of how it was constructed. The Bamahenge stones are made of hollow fiberglass, with some concrete and old wood to weigh them down and keep them upright. The stones are somewhat stormproof, but it is possible if a strong hurricane would come through here, the stones would be ripped apart. But George Barber, the marina owner, says he knows a good fiberglass man that could repair them very quickly. So there you go. There are a few Stonehenge replicas around the country. Another famous one is Carhenge in western Nebraska, which I saw last year. The stones here are also not accurate replicas of the shapes of the stones in Stonehenge. In fact, there are only 4 different shapes of stones at Bamahenge, and they are all arranged differently, so each stone appears to look unique.
Yeah, I don't think stone makes that noise.
This is pretty cool. I'm kind of surprised no one else is here. I thought this was a more popular attraction. Maybe it's because rain's on the way and it's a little chilly? Anyway, on to the next stop. This one I have to use the camera zoom, as it's behind this locked fence. This attraction is a large sundial. I'll try to zoom in as much as possible. Well, I read this was a sundial, but it's very hard to tell. It just kinda looks like another random sculpture in the woods from here. It would have been great if they didn't have this locked up and I could walk right up to it. But right next to that locked fence is this fiberglass stegosaurus. There are 4 dinosaurs hidden in the woods. There's another dinosaur way in the distance along a sandy dirt road. There are a couple of others hidden, but I think that one over there and the stegosaurus right next to me are the easiest to find. There are a few other things to see on property, so I'm gonna head for those. Look at this giant spider. It looks so realistic and that is frightening. How much raid do you think you need to spray on that thing to kill it? That thing is huge and really creepy, really frightening. This creepy arachnid looks like it's made of metal sheets and metal pipes. I'm not sure how big this thing is, but I can walk under the legs without any issue. Take a look at how terrifying this is from the front. Its mouth looks like it has claws and big teeth and a bunch of knobs and also has some eyes. Imagine if spiders were that size in real life. That'd be really, really terrifying. Okay, I've been here long enough. I know the spider isn't real, but it's staring at me. There are a few more things to see, so I'm gonna head there now, very quickly. Goodbye, creepy spider. Down there is a roundabout where the gigantic spider is. My next quirky thing to see is in these woods. I'm gonna walk into the forest to see what's hidden in there. There appears to be 2 statues of knights just hanging out in the woods. One over here and one over here. This knight lost an arm. It must have been a very rough battle for him to lose an arm. Wonder where the arm went. At least he has both feet. Okay, let's go over to the other knight. Looks like this knight must have won the battle. He looks so proud of himself. My final stop of the marina property is the actual marina. This is a world-class marina, lots and lots of docks that can hold many boats. This marina doesn't just hold boats, it looks like there's a giant woman in the water. Zooming in as far as I can is a giant head and knees of a woman, complete with the pouty lips. Let me see if I can get a little closer. This roadside attraction, or should I say waterfront attraction, is called the Lady of the Bay. It's meant to be partially submerged in the water. She's She was originally installed in the marina in November 2012. Months earlier, the sculpture was in a lake in Leeds, Alabama, not far from Birmingham. The sculpture was well received when it was moved here. However, the sculpture was badly damaged in 2020 by Hurricane Sally, but marina owner George Barber was determined to rebuild her. The repaired Lady of the Bay made her return in November 2022, so it's only been back about 6 weeks. When I traveled here, I was not sure the lady would be back, so I'm glad to see she's returned. Some say the lady looks like Catherine Zeta-Jones. Sculptor Mark Klein called the sculpture Country Girl Skinny Dipping, which leads people to believe she looks like country singer Sarah Evans. Mark Klein created a duplicate of the lady, which was recently installed at Barber Motorsports Park in Leeds. Yep, the same Barber that owns the marina owns the motorsports park. And that's it. I finally got to see a number of roadside attractions in this southern part of Alabama. Seeing the old courthouse that was the inspiration for To Kill a Mockingbird was pretty cool. I'm heading east from here to another state, and I think you know which one. But you'll see that next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! Found what we call the sea cat, making sure there's no trouble at the marina. I wonder if he belongs to anybody, or if it's just a stray cat that likes to hang out around the water.
Oh no, sea kitty.
Oh! Here she comes! Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
You look grumpy.
Hi.
The bridges are very long at the southern end. There are a number of bays that feed into the Gulf of Mexico. And welcome to Florida.